Is this Ohio State team better than the national championship team from last year? I'll let you know in just a minute. The house is now divided. It's your boy, the resident Buckeye fan, Josh, in the flesh. Make sure y'all subscribe for more college football takes. I've got my boy, Marcus. He does the Michigan takes on this channel, and obviously I do the Buckeye previews. Look, man, we're doing something special on the channel every Saturday at 11. Make sure you join me, the resident Michigan fan, Marcus, Johnny Olden, Maze Madman, Boxing Maniac. It's a good time. Not only am I undefeated in Game of the Week picks and looking to take another dub in the game between Indiana and Oregon this week, but we just having a good time, man. It's not Michigan versus Ohio State. It's college football. So join us live. Okay, so is this team better than last year's team? I think so. Here's why. They're playing better team ball. Last year, we put a lot on the plate for Will Howard. And, obviously he's a little bit more of a developed quarterback. He came in as a senior. And so he was able to handle things a little bit better than maybe Julian Sayin is right away. Julian Sayin, obviously a little bit of a newer quarterback, and therefore we kind of got to expose him a little bit slower to things, get him more reps to gain more confidence. He's been passing every test with flying colors. So I think there is more room to be trusted with a little bit more aggressive play calling. As the careers go, Julian Sayin is going to probably be referred to as the better quarterback between him and Will Howard. From a running game standpoint, I don't think that Bo Jackson, James Peoples, and CJ Donaldson is necessarily better than Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins. So if I had to say anything isn't better than last year, I'd probably say the running game isn't better because Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson is clearly better. I think the tight end room is very talented, and it's probably playing better than what it was last year. I just think this team plays better team ball, right? Carnell Tate can explode for almost 200 yards because Jeremiah Smith is playing his role and being the offensive threat that he is, right? And he's okay with taking less than 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, but he's okay with doing that because he knows he's going to get his catches. He knows he's going to get his receptions and then do what he needs to do with it, even if he's not the leading receiver in the game. He's playing team ball, right? Julian Sayin is perfectly fine with playing a conservative game and being the most accurate quarterback in the nation, but not necessarily always going for the long ball, which we know he could probably deliver. And that's because he's playing team ball. But the defense, on the other hand, Arvell, Reese, Sonny Styles, they can get to the quarterback and they can stop big plays from happening because they know the other one is going to be on quarterback spy. Right. And then they know Caleb Downs is either playing safety or he's also trying to get in the backfield, or he's showing that he's going to blitz, but then he's also getting back in coverage. Like when you have athletic players like that with large amounts of football IQ, they're all playing team ball, right? When the edges have contained on said mobile quarterback, and then you have Arvell Reese looking at the quarterback, seeing what he's going to do and seeing if he gets out of pocket, that's team ball, right? Sure, Kenyatta Jackson may not be getting to the quarterback like we want him to, but he's setting a hard edge. Team ball, right? This team is playing team ball like we have not seen them play last year. Now, does that mean that I don't think they were playing team ball last year? No. I think they're playing team ball at a higher level. They're playing for something. They're playing with a national championship in mind. And I can't say that for other teams. I told y'all Penn State was going to get 3 losses. I didn't think it would be to UCLA, but that's a team that's not playing team ball. That's a team that's putting everything on Drew Allard to win the big game, and he can't do it because he's not that guy, right? On the other hand, we are not putting the entire game on Julian Sayin because Ryan Day is calling games conservatively at times to make sure that Julian Sayin is not in a position where he's going to throw an interception, and now we're looking at a game that's way closer than it should be, right? So that's what it looks like. That's team ball, and that's why this team looks better than they looked last year, right? Even though I don't necessarily believe that the offense is for sure better, right? We don't necessarily have a run game, but we play damn good team ball. Let's get into this Illinois game. Illinois is yet another test similar to the Washington game, right? The Washington game was supposed to be this offense with all the playmakers, and we are on the road, and we don't know how Julian Sayin is going to play. And, there was so many questions coming into this. I think this is a similar game in the sense that Illinois is a little bit more of a complete team, and we are playing this game on the road. However, I'm not afraid. I think Ryan Day is going to call yet another conservative game because this is a team that if you do put the ball into the defense's hands, their offense could potentially make you pay the more drives that you give them. Therefore, I like Ryan Day calling a conservative game here, winning on the road, and then moving on. This is a decent defense. This is a pretty good defense especially compared to Washington, right? And then on top of that, Luke Altmyer is a little bit more developed than Damon Williams was. I don't think they have a Jonah Coleman or a Denzel Boston or a Desmond Roebuck, but Luke Altmyer and his offense can make you pay. And I think Ryan Day is going to look to basically make sure that they're not a factor, right? This offense is good enough to score on Illinois' defense. On the other hand, our defense is good enough to make Luke Altmyer look like a rookie. And so that's how you win this game. You win this game by conservative play calling, getting the ball when you can to Jeremiah Smith or Carnell Tate, but conservative play calling. Keep the ball out of Luke Altmyer's hands, and I think you leave this road game with a victory. It's pretty simple, right? We're not traveling out west. It's a noon game. It is a rivalry game, but this is not Ohio State, Michigan. This isn't even Ohio State, Penn State in terms of rivalries. So, I don't expect Illinois to play up in the way that, typical rivalry games happen. I don't know if this is a 2-score game for Ohio State for sure, but I clearly have Ohio State winning this game. After seeing Illinois get beat by Indiana the way they did, I could see why a person would want the aggressive play calling. I could see why we as fans would want to see Ohio State do the same thing against Illinois. But I don't think that's going to happen in this game. I think we win this game by 10 points, and that's because our defense showed up and did the job that they're supposed to. I don't think we are proving anything by putting 63 up on Illinois. And once that happens, I think Illinois goes and wins the rest of their game, and they give Michigan a run for their money as the 2-loss 4th Big Ten team in the playoffs. Because at the very least, they'll have the same big win, USC. I like them to be the team. Just saying. But give me your thoughts. Let me know what you're thinking about going into the Ohio State-Illinois game. Do you have us beating them by a much larger margin than I do? Do you see Ryan Day going aggressive with the play calling? How do you feel about this game? Let me know in the comments below. Obviously, make sure you like the video. It helps us out on the algorithm. Subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you join us on Saturday as I try to keep the undefeated streak of Game of the Week predictions alive. Make sure you're there. 11 o'clock. Sometimes we go a little bit early, 10:45. So make sure you're there. Get a good seat. And on that note, I'm out.